only because you were aiding others.
The original Watchers, too, were selfish. They wanted the knowledge for its own sake, not as a tool to be used. And that attitude triggered the virus.
Uh-oh, the beacon's getting ready to guide us someplace. But where?
Seems to me there's only one way to find out. Shall we go?
Trial of the Watcher. Basically, the Watcher only supposed to observe, like, they're a race of beings that can only observe without any interference. But one of the Watchers, decided to interfere with certain things, quote unquote, interfere. And so basically, he's responsible for all the, in the Marvel universe or the Marvel multiverse. He's responsible for all the little what ifs. So let's see. Let's see. Yeah, all the little what ifs. So all those little episodes of what if. Like, what if the Silver Surfer had the Infinity Gauntlet? What if Spider-Man was the fifth? It was the Fantastic Five instead of the Fantastic Four, All these little what ifs that in essence tamper with the timelines. Again, you're going to see a lot of stuff coming out right now having to deal with timelines, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, our dimensions, different dimensions. And you're talking about ancestor clearance, soul retrieval, karmic healing, that's all. Different dimensions, Numerology, you know what I'm saying? Talking about different aspects of geometry as different dimensions, Matter of fact, since I done took it this far, kind of in essence complete the cipher, But that's what it comes down to, the different dimensions, talk about dimensions for time travel or different spaces, because in the one space, that one dot or one circle, in essence doesn't have any, aspects of experience, it's just that one complete circle, and realizing too that the one is, in essence, the circle. Although the one is one in essence. The one, is the one dimension, because there's only, a circle is only one side to it, which is the whole actual circle. Now this is what I came up with for two. It's like a curve and a line, which could also be looked at as the letter D. But in this numerology book, they show it as like just two separate lines. And then the three, the triangle is the first shape that could be formed, after the 1 and 2. And you got the square, again the circle, 360 degrees, feminine, the whole truth. One triangle is only a part truth and is only a, one side of it. In essence, if it's, with straight lines, and that's only, the masculine perspective of the truth. Because even with the earthly plane, the lines, masculine line is 360 degrees. So it's the whole truth in essence, because it's 360, but it's still from a masculine perspective mostly, you know what I'm saying? Because even, again, with Earth being like, the princes are the the feminine aspect, it's a feminine aspect through the masculine, because even, again, like us seeing bodies or having a bodysuit, in essence, is a part of being in the light show or the illusion, again, with the straight lines, because the light or the illusion comes from that masculine perspective. There's a few notes. And us being in the upside down world, in essence, because we walk on our 2 feet with our head facing up. So in essence, you would say the legs is the foundation of our body in this realm, but technically, in essence, and that's why a lot of people use the pentagram like this, in essence, because the spirit is like the true foundation. The spirit came before, or just say it's, it's the true foundation of our being, in essence. The body comes afterwards. But it's perspective and how you look at it. Somebody else looking at this, again, it's like, oh, that's wrong, or that's, this or that, just depending on what you're taught. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, it's a little bit of my notes. I ain't gonna go too deep into it. Matter of fact, you see, I done took y'all into all kind of stuff just talking about this watcher. But that's all connected. Again, the different dimensions and quote-unquote timelines, and our soul essence being on different dimensions. Also in connection with the movie Dune, the old movie and the new one, where, the spice, in essence, allow for multidimensional travel without physically having to go somewhere. Because, again, right now, if you close your eyes, you could visualize when you was 2 years old, 4 years old. You basically astrally traveling to another dimension, in essence. And when you go even deeper, or even, higher, some people would say, as far as like going into the higher chakras, you tap into, dimensions outside of the earthly experience and past lives, that quote-unquote predates our earth experience. All that. Yeah, that's where you get your little what-ifs from. It's the watcher. Supposed to be observing, and he interfered. The vibe. And always be aware of, we tapping in with comics, movies, or anything, especially on mainstream TV, that's going to have some, again, it's going to be like a 180 degrees. It'd probably be a half-truth, So definitely be aware with watching or dealing with any of this. They may flip certain perspectives in order to cause a little confusion, but have truths in it. Because again, some form of truth existing in it is what draws you in, because your soul or spirit sense like, oh, they got some truth in this. But then they may also have like some misinformation, so the aspect of partial truths pull you in, but then the untruthful stuff is like kind of subtly or subconsciously, being used. So you just have to be aware of that, But yeah, that's the vibe right now. And again, and I just for knowing, like all the different dimensions, and this and that. Like, no, this is actually being applied to your life circumstances, like, like finding out your life lesson numbers, your soul numbers, you know what I'm saying? Like, this all applies to your experience in this now moment, you know what I'm saying? Like, doing this type of work, is a part of, in essence, being here now, The physical experience allows for, all dimensions to be experienced. And one more time to this part of the notes. Wait, give me 1 second, because I don't want to be too sloppy with this. Turn to nothing personal. I actually wrote it down in this book, so hold on. In fact, that was the little depiction I was telling you about. And mind you that I did what I was drawing in my tablet right before I read this book, so it was also like a connection and showing like, just by getting a book, you kind of etherically start tapping into what's inside the book before reading it. And of course, this is a little joke right here. I think about certain religions who look at it as the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, and I was like 2 dudes and 1 ghost. It's like, that ain't really a full circle right there. Yep. Spirit precedes the earth. But spirit, so say for instance, if the spirit never incarnated, like carnivorous or, meat suit, you know what I'm saying? The spirit doesn't receive the knowledge of every dimension possible. That's what's so intriguing about an earth experience, is that it allows for a different dimension of experience that, that spirit never had before. It allows for, again, dimensions of a shape, different dimensions. That's all interconnected.
Crystal, Stephanie, and Jason.
Yeah. In fact, this is a nice little book on the numerology for sure. Yeah, that's the little connections right now that we're connecting with. It's different dimensions. Again, like the spice, dimensionally traveling within. Understanding ourselves. Right now is the time machine. Healing the past, creating the future right now. Word to them horns beeping in the background. But yeah, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Peace, peace. Now's the vibrate.